Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day. In today's topic of the day, we'll discuss about Cyclone Montha. So in every newspaper, the front page is covered by Cyclone Montha. So we'll discuss what is the Cyclone Montha and what is the significance of the Cyclone Montha. Also, we'll discuss the static part. That is, what is cyclone? How are they formed? How are they named? What are the different names they are called all over the world? And what are these color codes and what are the stages of cyclone? So everything we'll be discussing in today's video. So without any delay, I will start the video. So the title is Cyclone Montha and the Signs of Tropical Cyclone. Next, so what is Cyclone Montha? Cyclone Montha is a severe cyclonic storm. We'll discuss what is severe cyclone means. Okay, we'll discuss what a severe cyclone means, and that formed over the southeast Bay of Bengal in October 2025. Where? Southeast Bay of Bengal in October 2025. It is happened, and recently, that is today, it made a landfall on Andhra Pradesh coast. So that is the reason we are discussing. So it was named Montha by Thailand, meaning a fragrant of beautiful flower in Thai. We'll discuss how the country gets to name these as well. So as per IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department, Montha reached severe cyclonic storm category, bringing heavy rainfall, strong winds and coastal warnings to India's east coast. Okay, so this particular slide is completely heavy value loaded. That is, what is severe cyclonic storm and what is this Montha? How is Thailand getting to name a cyclone in Indian Ocean? How is cyclone Montha named, which is impacting India, but it is named by Thailand. Everything will be discussing today. Now, next, so this is a satellite image of a cyclone which is formed around Pacific Ocean. So this is how a cyclone looks from the top view. That is when you observe from the satellites. So this is when you dissect a cyclone. This is how it looks like. So this is the eye, and then this is the eye wall, and there is a spiraling winds, and then there is outward cirrus shield, etc., etc. We'll discuss again. Next, so what are cyclones then? So cyclones are a rapidly rotating storm system characterized by, so it is nothing but an atmospheric disturbance. Cyclones are atmospheric disturbance. So it disturbs the atmosphere. In particular, the tropical cyclone is called as a rapidly rotating storm characterized by what? Characterized by a low pressure center and a strong winds spiraling around the center. So spiraling around the center and heavy rainfalls and thunderstorms, and nearby there will be clouds formation and which will result in heavy rainfall as well as thunder. So this is basically a cyclone, and they form over warm oceanic waters. Very important. It was a question in 2021 prelims. Which of the following are prerequisite for formation of cyclones or tropical cyclones? That is, the temperature has to be around 27 degrees Celsius. They form only in waters where temperatures are above 27 degrees Celsius. Okay, so where heat and moisture fuel rises the air, condense and energy is released, creating a self-sustaining vortex. So this is the self-sustaining vortex. The air rises up and it will result in the cyclones, and it will result in the spiraling winds, and then this air falls down and this feeds into the vortex again. Okay, so there will be two types of circulation. One is the lower circulation and then there is upper circulation. Okay, so there is a cycle of this format. Okay, so let us discuss in this way. So this is the eye. So center of the low pressure is called as eye, and the spiraling winds start spiraling around it, and this is called as eye wall, and around the eye wall these are the cyclonic winds or spiraling bands. These are called as spiraling bands. Okay, these spiraling bands are characterized by clouds. These spiraling bands are characterized by clouds. These clouds obviously will result in rains as well as thunders. The more closer you are to the eye wall, there will be more higher intensity. The more further you are from the eye wall or eye, the lesser will be the intensity. Okay, but very important, this particular area where the eye is formed, it is characterized by low pressure. It is characterized by low pressure, and there is absolute calmness there only in the particular period of eye. But they always say that there is calm before storm. The calm is the eye, the storm is the eye wall. Okay, so this is basically a tropical cyclone. Next, again, so this is Cyclone Montha as seen from the satellite images. So if this is India and this Cyclone Montha is on the Bay of Bengal coast and it already made the landfall in the Andhra Pradesh coast. Okay, next, types and regional names. These tropical cyclones are named differently around the world. First, we have to understand in the cyclones there are two types. One is tropical and other is temperate. Okay, so tropical normally originates, or not normally, always originates above water, but temperate cyclones, they can originate above water or land as well. So they do not die as soon as they hit the land, because they originate on both land as well as water, whereas tropical originates only on the water. So as soon as they hit the land, it results in landfall and the cyclone dies off, the tropical cyclone dies off, but not the case with the temperate. So these tropical cyclones are named differently across different regions of the world. So if we consider Atlantic Ocean, Eastern Pacific, they are called as hurricanes. They are called as hurricanes. In Western and North Pacific, they are called as typhoons, meaning on the coast of Japan and on the coast of China, they are called as typhoon. And in the Indian Ocean, they are called as cyclones, and in the southern hemisphere, especially in Australia and Africa, they are called as tropical cyclone. But in Australia, they are also called in a very peculiar name, that is Willy Willies. Willy Willies, very important. Willy Willies. So these are the different names that are being called for this tropical cyclone. And then, so you can see, so all the regions where the cyclones are formed. So this is the northern hemisphere around India and Pacific, Indian Ocean and Pacific. This is the southern hemisphere where they are called as tropical cyclone, and this is the area where they are called as Willy Willies, and here they are called as typhoons. And this particular Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean below the Tropic of Cancer, below the in the tropical region are called as typhoons. Here they are called as typhoons, here they are called as hurricanes. So above the region of tropics where the temperate region is there, those are called as temperate cyclones. Okay, temperate cyclones. They form both on land and on water. Very important. So whereas tropical cyclones only cover a small area of the region, the tropical temperate cyclones cover vast areas of region, but the intensity is comparatively lower than tropical cyclones. Okay, next, IMD classification of cyclones. Okay, cyclones are classified as different ways. That is, some are called as low pressure, some are called as depression, some are called as deep depression, some are called as normal storm, some are called as severe storm, etc. Why? On what basis? According to IMD, cyclones are classified on this particular basis in North Indian Ocean. That is, low pressure area where will be the wind speed will be less than 31 km per hour, and the category is they will be just a weak circulation, it will not result in any death or destruction, and they are not harmful for human beings. Then comes depression, that is, the wind speeds will be between 31 to 49 kilometers. It is the initial stage. And then there is deep depression, where the wind speeds will be 50 to 61 kilometers, where intensifies the system. Okay, these are also the stages of cyclones. And then there is cyclonic storm, and the speeds will be between 62 to 88 kilometers, and the system gets a name here. This is where the system gets a name. And then this stage is called a severe cyclonic storm, where the wind speeds will be 89 to 170 kilometers. The current Montha is at this stage, and at this stage it is making landfall. That is what they are called as severe cyclonic storm. So the speeds will be between 89 to 170 kilometers per hour. And the example is obviously our Cyclone Montha. And then very severe cyclonic storms, these are between 118 to 165 km per hour. So strong destructive storm. And then there is extreme severe cyclonic storm with the speeds of 166 to 220 km per hour. So category is covered as very powerful, and in the super cyclonic storm it will be around 221 km per hour, about 221 km per hour. So these are called as catastrophic. Okay, so this is the stages. So this is how the cyclone grows into different stages, and the stage at which it makes the landfall decides the intensity of the rainfall, or decides the intensity of these cyclones. Okay, I will explain you. Okay, so if this is Indian coast, This is Indian coast. Normally what happens is the cyclones, they take a parabolic path. So they will be revolving around themselves and then they will take a parabolic path like this. Okay, they will take a parabolic path. So they take a parabolic path. So as I told you, once they originate, if we consider this as the origin, and it will be low pressure area here, and first it will be low pressure and it start developing. Around here it will convert into deep depression. Around here it will convert into cyclonic storm. Around here it will convert into very high cyclonic storm. Around here it will convert into very intense cyclonic storm. Around here it will convert into catastrophic. So the stage at which makes the landfall decides the intensity or decides the impact it is going to have on this particular coast. So this particular cyclone Montha, what happened was, it was revolving like this, and when it reached the cyclonic storm stage, severe cyclonic storm stage, it made the landfall. So its calculation or its naming was severe cyclonic storm. But there are certain cyclones which make the landfall in very severe cyclonic storm, which becomes very catastrophic to the nature. So the intensity or the impact depends on the stage at which these cyclones make the landfall. Hope you get the point. So also western coast, or sorry, this is eastern coast. The eastern coasts are more vulnerable to take cyclones in India compared to the western coast. Why? Because just consider here, if this is the way they start forming, and around here they start making the landfall. So it is very less amount of time for the cyclones that are forming in the Arabian Sea. As a result, once it is low pressure, then depression, and in the deep depression, usually around the deep depression period, they make the landfall. But now consider the stage. They will have to revolve around like this and then make a landfall. So by the time taken by these cyclones on the Bay of Bengal Sea is very high. As a result, they will be already passing the deep depression, cyclonic storm and severe cyclonic storm stages. As a result, the intensity on the eastern coast of India is very high. That is why most of the severe cyclones around the world, not only in India, around the world, happened around on the eastern coast of India, be it in Odisha, be it in Andhra Pradesh, be it in Tamil Nadu, or be it in West Bengal or Bangladesh. Okay, so hope this is clear now. Next, stages in cyclone formation. I already told you the stages, already said the speed, or already discussed about what is the stages. So in the low pressure area, so just a low pressure is created. What happens in the stage? It will result in warm ocean, air starts rising, creating a low pressure area. If this is the ocean, a warm air start rising up. When the air start rising up, this will create a low pressure zone in this area. Then comes depression. Here the air starts spiraling inward, thunderstorms clusters. Where there is low pressure, the winds start coming towards here. As a result, it start turning a spiral bands. And then there is deep depression. Here there will be circulation strengthens. The circulation becomes stronger and also results in heavy rainfall. Okay, next is cyclonic storm. The system is named here and the I formation begins. So now it is only low pressure, only not a symmetrical, only asymmetrical kinds of spiraling will be happening here. But here there will be I starts forming and the wind start rising up, and there is a larger spiraling and cloud formation begins, and then it is given name and it will result in intense rainfall. Then super to severe cyclone, here the maximum wind intensity and the wind speed destruction or widespread destruction happens. Okay, and then there is landfall or dissipation. This is the last stage of cyclones, meaning energy supply cuts off over the land and system weakens. Okay, either it happens because of landfall or whether it happens because of dissipation. As I told you in the previous slide, if it takes larger period of time, it takes longer time, then it might just dissipate. It might just dissipate on the coast itself because it is not able to maintain the source of energy for it, and it dissipates from the period of time. Either it makes a landfall or it just dissipates on itself. Okay, so that is the final stage. Next, so not necessary. And then how are the cyclones named? First I told you about the different names. That is a usual name or the general name given to the cyclones. But as I told you, this is tropical cyclone Montha. Who named it? It was named by Thailand. How is it named then? How did Thailand get it? So the managed regionally by the World Meteorological Organization panels. So the naming is provided by the World Meteorological Organization regional panels. So IMD, that is RSMC New Delhi, assigns names for the North Indian Ocean, and each member country which is part of this North oh Indian Ocean countries, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Thailand, etc., submits names in advance. So names are used consequentially once a system becomes a cyclonic storm, and these countries will have a term of 2 years. For each 2 years, they get to decide the name of these cyclones. Okay, for a year, Thailand will get, and next year India will get, and next year it will be Bangladesh, next year it will be Pakistan, and that is the names of these changes. Yash was given by India, and Titli was given by Bangladesh, and Feni was given by Bangladesh again. Different names and different sounds also, because of the different countries that are naming them. Okay, this is how cyclones are named. And then what are color coded warnings? You might have seen, as soon as the cyclone hits or cyclone is forming over a period of over a region, IMD starts giving out the signals, that is red signal, orange alert, green alert, etc. What are these alerts? So IMD uses a 4-color warning system to communicate the severity and the likelihood of weather events such as cyclones, floods, heavy rain, etc. Each color helps local authorities, disaster response agencies like NDMA, NDRF, etc., and the public to take the appropriate action. So 4 color codes are green, yellow, orange, red. What is green? There is no warning here, and the meaning of the action is normal weather, no need to worry, no action is needed. So it is a routine monitoring. And then is the yellow, be updated, meaning the climate or the weather is changing, so be updated. Weather is likely to change, keep a watch on the weather. And here early awareness, meaning it can either turn back to green, or there are chances that it can turn into orange. And in orange, be prepared. What does this mean? There is severe weather is expected, authorities should prepare themselves. And the purpose is preemptive readiness for the disaster responses. Preemptive readiness for the disaster responses. Okay, and finally the red. Here, take action. It is now or never. It is the final stage. You have to take the action. That is extremely severe weather. Immediate response is needed. So this is where all the NDRF, SDRF are mobilized. They will be kept on by or watch in the orange period, and in the red signal, there will be a red code they will be provided, or they are burst into action here. Evacuation, rescue, and the full emergency action takes place. In the Cyclone Montha, in 19 districts, out of 19, 12 districts were given red code and 6 districts were given orange code. Meaning in the red districts, most of the people are evacuated. So in today's newspaper, in the early morning newspaper, what it said was more than 45,000 people were evacuated in the coastal regions of Andhra Pradesh. So because there was red signal or red code. And then, so why does the cyclone matter? Obviously, because they have larger implications, be it economic, be it human needs, be it environmental, be it preparedness, everything, it is important. So in the economic loss, crops, infrastructure, and fisheries will be affected. According to the recent report, 2,500 crore loss was accrued by Andhra Pradesh Power Limited itself. Only in the power infrastructure, 2,500 crore was the loss, and in crops, almost 47,000 hectares of 4,700 hectares of area has been destroyed. And then human impact, that is coastal flooding, displacement, and deaths. Fortunately, in the Cyclone Montha, there has been no news of death of any individual. Okay, so India's cyclone preparedness, cyclone readiness has improved a lot. In the 1975 and 1980s, there were deaths of more than 2 lakh people due to the cyclones in the regions. But now there is hardly any deaths because India's preparedness level and India's readiness level for the cyclones or disaster has improved manifold. Next, environmental effect. Saltwater intrusion and habitat destruction. Okay, the saltwater intrusion happens into the coastal areas, which will result in loss of life capacity of the soil itself. Loss of life capacity of the soil itself, and the soil becomes infertile. Okay, and then habitat destruction because of the storm surges. When the water spring upon the storm areas, it converts into sort of a small tsunami. Next, preparedness, that is IMD early warning systems and NDMA mitigation plans are crucial because of cyclones. This is why cyclones matter. Once a cyclone happens, you get idea about how to deal with the cyclone, and you get better prepared for the next coming cyclones. So this is about Cyclone Montha and everything about Cyclone Montha and every aspect of cyclones in India and around the world. I think I have covered this topic holistically with examples, with the diagrams, etc. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.